And I want to talk a little bit about creative deal structure. Now, we do this, and residential is very structured. We have the paperwork, it's this, that, but there has to be creativity in residential, but I can imagine there's even more creativity in commercial.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Tell me about how to creatively structure your deal, a commercial deal.
This is the part that I really enjoy about commercial real estate, is that over time I've realized that there's not really, there's no rules.
Right.
It's whatever both parties agree to, that's the agreement, right? So you can sell your firstborn child, and if that's what they want to do, okay, well, I'll take that. You can barter, essentially.
Rick's making a note right now.
Yeah, take notes if you really have troubles there. But it's interesting because the creative deal structuring is not just on the sales side. On the commercial side, there's so many transactions on the leasing end, which you don't really see so much on residential, right? It's not so much rentals, it's sales.
Right.
But on the leasing side, my God, they're really getting very creative with the types of terms that we're coming up with. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Right now I have a really cool space in the Arts District, right on Main in California. At 1205 South Main, it's a 4,000 square foot gray shell retail space.
Okay.
It's one of the only ones still remaining in the Arts District.
Right.
And it's at the heart of the Arts District.
Wow.
And it's got about 1,000 square feet of retail and about 3,000 square feet of warehouse space in the back. And the challenge is you've got a ton of people that are very interested in being in the Arts District, a lot of big companies that are interested in being in the Arts District.
Sure.
And so these deals are getting very complicated with regards to, well, how much money should the landlord offer from a TI perspective?
Right.
How long should the leases be? How are TI disbursements getting made?
When you say TI, he's talking about tenant improvement, guys, for those who don't know.
Sometimes I forget.
That's okay.
Yes. So tenant improvement allowance is TIA or TI, tenant improvement. It's essentially the landlord's contribution to renovating the space into a condition that's acceptable.
Modifying it specific to that lessee's needs.
Yeah, and sometimes you modify it just from gray shell, which is nothing, dirt,
just 4 walls and
dirt on the floor and 4 walls,
right,
to what's called vanilla shell condition, which brings you up to, okay, now you've got the plumbing and the sewage and the utilities, you got everything, but you need to add the cosmetics and everything that's custom for you as the tenant.
Right.
So those kinds of leasing deals are getting really creative, but also on the sales side it's getting creative because you're starting to see that maybe the financing options from a bank perspective or from a credit union or from these insurance companies, you're just not able to get the types of rates that you need to make the math pencil out. And so a lot of times what I'm seeing is a lot of seller financing.
Okay.
I don't know how often you see that on the residential side, but that's becoming very prevalent on the commercial side. Most of the deals that I have right now for sale, the buyers are asking, can we do a seller financing? Would they consider it?
Right.
And that's also fairly heavy on the land end because construction is so expensive today that the lenders are just like, I don't know if I want to give you money for this and not see a return for however many years.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we're doing some creative financing that way. I'll give you one deal that I did on an investment property in town. This was a couple years ago, but it's still a relevant story and something I look for if I can find the opportunity.
Right.
There is a property over on Rainbow and Oquendo.
Okay.
Across the street from the hospital. The address is 5915 South Rainbow. It's a beautiful property, 16,000 square feet. It's got 3 medical tenants. One is the Comprehensive Eye Care of Southern Nevada.
Okay, sure.
They do 90% of all the retinal surgery, eye surgeries in the state.
Okay. Wow.
And so I sold that building back in 22, 23, whenever that was now. And the way I managed to sell it, at the time I was a relatively new agent. Mm-hmm. And a client actually was initially represented by someone else in my office to buy the property. Right. And the reason why he was interested in selling is because he felt like it was just too much management. He felt like he got into a bad loan, not what he wanted to. There was a prepayment penalty. It just had a lot of hair on the deal.
Right.
And the way that I ended up selling the deal was I kind of realized that the loan was not assumable. And so I ended up finding an opportunity to be able to say, well, the interest rates nowadays are 6.2, 6.3, whatever they were at the time. He had a 4.66% loan.
Nice.
Interest on the loan. Mm-hmm. And that was valuable enough to be able to push a lower capitalization rate being the return on investment,
Right.
cash on cash that an investor has on the property, to warrant significantly higher price point with only 2 years difference from when he bought it to when I sold it for him.
Wow.
And so you just have
Smart.
to find those pockets of opportunity
Yeah.
and be able to market that as hey, here's the value. I understand that maybe this isn't ideal for you to buy at this price point at lending rates today, but
If we can get you this rate,
I can lock you in at lower than what you can get anywhere else and
Right.
get you a pretty good return.
it's the same thing new home builders do right now in residential.
Interest rates, right? I was
Right?
gonna say.
Because I always comment, the new home builders are selling not the home, they're selling the rate. That's what they're selling, which, is smart
Yeah.
because everyone's rate conscious, as they should be to a certain extent. But that's what the builders are selling. And I also have to point out, and I have to continually point this out, as a regular seller of a resale home, you can do that too. A seller can buy down a rate for a buyer if you wanted to. You can do that. It's
Interesting.
something you can do. So don't forget about that.